Frank and Elam and Crispy Chris.
Oh,
So all of that, and
yeah.
then Gavin goes into the final uh with that team he had. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And then I'm in Group D with Z's Wireless, Nisus, Wadaj, Gucci Gang, Kevin Saladaris, Newman,
Yeah, that's it.
um, Mango, Jangles,
Yeah.
Evie.
Y'all just registered at the exact same time.
Just
Like,
fuck me.
oh my God, man. That's so tough. And we are live now, so. May I say language, please, darling? Thank you. No, it looked really fun, though. What was your team? Would you have anything fun, spicy, or were you just running a nice core meta Pokemon?
I thought it was spicy.
And then
For
you saw the double?
no. Well, here's the thing. 4 of them were basic.
Okay.
I had Medicham, I had Galarian Stunfisk, I had Trevenant, and I had Altaria.
Okay.
Didn't have Noctowl. I didn't have a Noctowl that could beat Stunfisk, so I didn't want to run it. So I also went Altaria. And then like I was feeling pretty confident about my 2 spice picks, but then I get there and they have like the casters predictions for Pokemon that are going to surprise at the tournament.
Uh-huh.
And I look at Mark's son, and Mark's son's number one answer is Toxapex. And 3 of the casters all said Toxapex. So like, all right, so everyone was thinking Toxapex was going to be better this cup. So my Toxapex isn't going to be a surprise. I literally just finished racing up 2 weeks before, so I didn't have a lot of practice with it. So Toxapex was on there. Then Mark's son's second pick is Walrein. I'm like, I was really hoping people would have forgotten about Walrein. Thank you. Although I didn't end up using it in any of the 4 battles, because again, the 2 teams I thought like there was no Noctowl, there was no Lantern, there was no Swampert, no A9, and that was the kind of meta I was planning against. And yeah,
don't you hate it when you plan for us? Like you see, like the battles, the tournaments before, like they don't bring a specific Pokemon. You're like, yes, the meta's shifting. The Obstagoons are gonna come. I can bring out my Scrafty and play it. And then all of a sudden, there are no Obstagoons. You bring out your one Pokemon. Everybody's got Medicham and just blowing you up, or you're all loaded for Toxapex, and then everybody's bringing it. Just it's insane. You've worked so hard. And
I'm just
not ahead of the meta.
So freaking unlucky, I swear.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? Was it fun? Did you have a good time? Did you like playing with your team?
I mean, at the very least, I can say even if the results don't show it, I think that's the best I've battled at a regional.
Okay.
Because I didn't make any like stupidly obvious mistakes.
Okay.
Like there are instances in Toronto and Vancouver where I can point of like that was freaking dumb. I can't believe that happened. Hartford, I didn't really have that, but again, I just couldn't really.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything in the losers bracket game and the winners game. Like it was close, but just came up short.
So you said we are live already?
Yeah, we are. We're streaming on YouTube. We're on YouTube, not Twitch.
Oh, okay.
I stream on YouTube now.
Okay, because I was on Twitch. Like what?
Sorry. Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I was looking for it.
Yeah, and then there's the chat as well. You should be able to see the chat right there. Oh, come on.
Where is it?
OBS, get into it. You know when you're like, put the thing into the OBS, and it won't put it into the OBS visual now. Never mind. I don't know why it won't show me the OBS. Anyways, DPhiE, were you able to watch any of Hartford and like see any of these? That's awesome. What did you think of it?
It was really good. Again, kind of like we were talking about, it was stacked. Mm-hmm. Just the level of play was really, really good, I think, in Hartford. Yeah. And I really enjoyed matches like watching Crimson and Evan battle, and it was just laughs and kind of fun, enjoying the back and forth. I really liked that. Watching Inadequate's battle as well. Just a lot of like good vibes I got from the stream.
We got a new meme. We got a new meme thanks to Pocket and Dunebug.
Yeah, yes. I was about to say they were really hamming it up this weekend to that camera. And I'm grateful, right? Like, it was a lot of, as they mentioned it too, like, another thing about this tournament, I think it was 12 individuals, or no, in the top 12, 5 individuals were already going to Yokohama. In the top 12, half of them were already going to Yokohama. So, like, them just having fun and, like, hamming it up, you could just really see that great, like, jovial kind of attitude during tournaments, and it was really, really awesome. Even with Dodge, who hadn't secured himself yet, was still having laughs throughout, like, all of his battles and stuff. It was definitely one of the funnest to watch with, like, for battler entertainment, for sure, because all those trainers were so stacked, and who was it? Who yelled out for about Bastiodon? Someone, I can't remember, just turned and just, like, spiking the cameras, yelling at it. It was such a great time.
Yeah, and it's amazing that, so Wadaj secured his invite as the champion. They had to go down to 6th place to give the next invite. Like, that's bananas.
Who was that?
Trogdor.
Trogdor got it?
Yeah, because second place was Elam. Elam qualified as a runner-up.
Right.
Hot Pocket is a Peoria champion.
Right.
Inadequate's qualified already.
That's
Magic
right.
Mason qualified already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mason won Toronto. So yeah, Trogdor, who didn't even know if he was going to go or not, got the other berth.
That's so good. I've been watching Trogdor. He's been around since, like, the beginning of Silph, and to, like, after a week we've had, he just sneaks that, gets it in there, goes to the second day, and then is able to secure it. Even not, like, being up top with the other battlers. One, as a battler, it's got to feel really good that you can compete with them. So when you go to Yokohama, you know what to look for. But 2, to get that ticket, you're just like, what? I did? You thought he was probably at the bar just having a great old time, enjoying it, going, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said, that he initially thought he was just going to go spectate. But...
yeah. Well, good for him. Good for him as a battler to go spectate. These play Pokemon, they're getting stacked. I think there's almost 60 people for NA now. Haven't done. I've got the list.
There's still 2 more to go. Milwaukee and Fresno.
And NAIC, which stacks on 5 more. So that one's gonna be. I'm interested to see the outcome of Fresno, or not Fresno, NAIC, because if we're watching what we've been watching over the last season so far, all of these finalists are still returning second dayers. Like, we know this, we've seen so many battles. There could be a tournament that's your tournament. It's just your tournament. You just had a great tournament. And then there are tournaments which aren't your tournaments. The fact that it's a repetitive...
All of them aren't my tournaments.
Trust me, I got put up against Caleb Pang against my tournament. I feel you. You go in and you see these battlers keep making the top day 2, the top 8. You now realize that these aren't just, it was their tournament battler. These are battlers getting ready for Worlds and preparing for Worlds. And I really appreciate that we've been having that kind of opportunity here in NA. I hope the EU and LATAM and APAC can have that opportunity with their regions and can build that for their own groups. But for NA to give that option here, it is just a lot. And it's really nice to have for us. But it is 4 o'clock, ladies. Are y'all ready?
4 for you, buddy.
Oh, sorry. 4 for me, 6 for DPhiE, 7 for New York, everybody.
8 for me.
8 for you.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're far east. For some reason, I thought you were Vancouver. My mistake.
Not quite. Totally other side of the continent at the moment.
Welcome all to the Poke Battle Network. I am SosaFlow, and today we are going to be doing our core meta breakdown for the last and final Silph meta, the Innocent Cup. With me are 2 amazing, talented people in the community. We have from GoCast, the play Pokemon caster herself, Miss DPhiE. And we have the Queen Bee for captain of the Queen Bees, FinalBossAJ, the Gym Breakers host. You'd be like the main host, I would say, of Gym Breakers. Welcome, ladies, to the stream. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm excited to talk about the Innocent Cup. I'm sad every time we keep thinking about like it's the last one, but you know, new things to come. It's the closing like of a chapter, not of the whole book.
Yes.
I'm really freaking tired because I don't know if the listeners at home can see the bed behind me. I just got back home a couple hours ago from my excursion to the States for the Hartford Regional. And then I was asked by my lovely friends, hey, can you come on and do some Innocence Cup previews? I'm like, if I get back in time, sure, absolutely. And I made it with 2 hours to spare. So I kind of settled in, kind of got myself back into broadcasting mode after getting my butt kicked in Hartford. But I am here. I'm happy to always talk shop with my former teammate on the Queen Bees. All the love to DPhiE and to the current captain, Hurricane Kaz. And of course, with the man of the network, Mr. Sosa Flow.
And I am happy to have you back closing out. You opened it up the season with us with Ember Cup, Miss AJ. Very happy to have you come back and close out the season with us for Innocence Cup.
I wanted to completely forget Ember Cup.
No, I will
At
never
least
let
there
you
were
forget.
ice Pokemon allowed.
You know what? There are ice moves allowed in this meta, at least.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that indeed. Yes, we are looking at the final meta of Wave 3 this Season 5 of Silph, and that is going to be the Innocent Cup. And as you can see, I love metas that have dragons, but I hate metas that follow up the typing with a hard wall of dragon. So we have dragon, fairy typing, flying typing, psychic, and water with the additions of Arbok, Dragalge, Garbodor, and Swalot. There are bans, of course, ice, fire, poison, steel typing with Altaria, Galarian Birds, Cresselia, you've got Hawlucha, that's that one. You got Lantern and Mandibuzz, Mantine, Mew, you've got Noctowl, Pelipper, and lastly Pidgeot. So there are definitely a lot of meta flyers that are banned, and I think that's something to take a note of, because with Ice banned and Meta Flyers banned, you don't really have that many flying opportunities. So a fighting type Pokemon might be good, a grass type Pokemon might play here. So we're gonna have to go into that a little more when we deep dive into the PV poke. But ladies, what are your first thoughts on this meta?
AJ said it for me pretty much when we started talking before the stream. Like, that's a lot of charm users at the top of the meta. That's just scrolling down, because you have Florges, who isn't charm but is fairy wind. Then you go and it's Clefable, Aromatisse, Slurpuff, Sylveon, Spritzy, Togekiss, Granbull, just all in the same meta. I think Gardevoir too as a charm user. So that's a lot. There's going to be a lot of, it's going to be like GBL all over the place. Just something in double charm in the back.
mean, shadows are banned, right? Or are they allowed? Do we have to deal with the shadow charm?
I don't think so. I think shadows aren't in the meta.
I think shadows were banned from the meta. I don't think it was on this most recent flyer, because this is the one straight from their first announcement.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was a little like, wait, I thought they were banned.
Because I thought they were banned too, but you would think Silph would have the same flyer up for all of their stuff. Let's look at their webpage now. And yes, shadows are banned. That is an official ban on shadows. It was last added last minute. Sorry, Miss Kaz, but so shadows are banned. Yes.
Charm will be only slightly less obnoxious than it would be.
Are you kidding me? Charm just literally, like, why bring out dragon typing? Why put dragon ever put dragon typing?
Punished, Sosa, and they won't let me do it with ice.
No, no, just let our dragons run wild.
The last two Silph metas, of course, ice is blanket banned in both. What am I doing here?
You joined us right after Hartford because you said you wanted to help out and team build with your old teammate, Miss DPhiE, and me. So we are so happy to have you. Yes, DPhiE, Charm, you're right, and AJ hit it on the nose at the beginning. A lot of fairies, a lot of chunk damage, but because of that, and they had to add those 4 poison type Pokemon, and not for nothing, when we saw them, when they've usually added the new Pokemon, they're usually in the top 10, and I don't see those 4 Pokemon in the top 10 at all. You got Swallow at about 11, but besides that, with the add-ons, they're not in the top tier. This is the first time this season that this has been a thing that like 2 or 3 have not been in the top 10. So very interesting. What do you both think about these Pokemon that were added not being there?
Well, we did talk about this in prep for this show. The 4 Pokemon they've selected all have one common thread. And we're going to get into this in a little bit when we talk about core picks. They don't have Poison Jab. None of them do. And Poison Jab is going to be the preferred move for tackling fairy types in this meta, with Charm being ubiquitous. However, both Arbok and Dragalge are Dragon Tail users, so fairies are going to resist that. Not only that, Dragalge is also dragon, so that negates the poison typing, which makes Charm neutral against it, so it hurts it like everything else. Good work, Dragoogle. I'm not pronouncing your name right because you don't have value here. Garbodor is just what it is, living garbage. Have you checked its fast moves? Takedown is not a viable option.
No, it's Infestation for Garbodor.
Does not work. Does not work. Trash Pokemon is trash. So,
it would be better if it had a better fast move. Like Body Slam and Gunk Shot, that's not a bad move set. Like,
no, anything with Body Slam's not a bad move set at all.
And its stats aren't bad.
Yeah, it's just it can't do anything pressure wise. Like by the time it gets that Sludge Wave with Infestation, like it's already lost at least half its health with the resistance to Charm, and then Gunk Shot with minimal damage coming from Infestation still might not be enough to take out a Clefable, a Wigglytuff, a Spritzee, that pops up. Might still live it, and then Garbodor's just sitting there getting charmed again. But you did hit on the head, DPhiE. Swalot is probably going to be the preferred pick out of the 4 of those Pokemon, just because it has Sludge Bomb access, which is the best poison move those 4 Pokemon have combined. And Swalot's going to be able to get to it relatively quickly. At the same time, it gets Ice Beam, which gives it that coverage for flyers, which allows Swalot to actually be very flexible in this meta. And I guess Infestation can hit Psychic for super effective too. So there's that.
Hypno's allowed? Like a hip. Are we in a Hypno meta again? Have we come full circle?
Stop.
Back to Hypno?
Is this how they say? Is this how they say goodbye to us?
That's their send off. Hypno back into everyone's lives.
I would. At the end of this, we'll talk about which metas really would have been good vibes. The Frostlass Vigoroth meta, the Hypno meta, the Season 1 Charizard, Blastburn, Venusaur, no Elite TM meta. We could talk that afterwards. But yeah, it looks like Hypno might be back, DPhiE.
Yeah.
It looked like as it takes on that Sea King, the Gliscor, the Azumarill, Florges, and the Dene, like it's got, again, utility, mobility. You can actually, it says Thunder Punch, but if you really want that ice, why go Shadow Ball when you could just put on Ice Punch and just give yourself some more coverage and help your team out more? Because fairies and normal typings don't really care about ice, so you can Shadow Ball. Then they're gonna like, you feel something? They're just gonna bounce it right off them. So, very utility, useful Pokemon right there in that Hypno.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be very interested to see like a lot of these early teams as well. Like when you're going through a meta, a lot of the teams that are set early are just kind of feeling things out where the popularity lies with a lot of these core picks that you start seeing when they're going to come into play. So early going, I think you're going to see a lot of charm and a lot of attempts to deal with charm, but the more versatile you can be in this meta to hit those multiple typings that we see on screen, being able to hit flyers and waters at the same time. It's why you're seeing those electric types at the top of the charts, because it deals with flying and deals with water. But if fairies become more dominant with that charm, you're going to see it shift to more deal with charm and then figure it out after that sort of team building.
I was going to say those three electrics are pretty squish when it comes to some charms, so they will not be able to take a hit. They might be up there, but just because they're up there doesn't mean if this is a charm meta, you're absolutely right. Like, Zapdos doesn't want to, you're going to have to give up shields. It's going to put you in such a harder position. So yeah, the early meta is going to be really interesting, but that's why we're here. We're here to help those battlers find these early meta, maybe find that core Pokemon pick that they want. But looking at the top 10, you've got you've got Jumpluff at number 1. You've got Seaking at number 2 with all elite TMs. Florges number 3, Dedenne number 4, Raichu Alolan Style at number 5, Zapdos at number 6, Tropius at 7, Zwellow at 8, Azumarill at 9, and Wigglytuff at 10. Girls, even though they banned like 7 major flyers, there is still half the top 10 are flyers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the top 10. Dang it, one shy.
Yeah, and we've seen this a bit as well in Arcana, the meta that we're still in for Silph in this penultimate month. When you take Ice out of the meta, those Pokemon that absolutely fear Ice, in particular Jumpluff at number 1, Ice is the only thing that hits Jumpluff hard and actually gives it pause. So with my poor Ice babies again being shunned from the Silph meta, what do you have against Ice, Silph? Jumpluff again looks like a dominant safe swap option for dealing with a lot of these Charmers, for dealing with electric types. It only takes neutral. Tropius kind of in the same boat, but doesn't really have the coverage nuke options that Jumpluff has. Jumpluff getting Fairy Wind, whereas Tropius has Air Slash and Razor Leaf, which don't generate a lot of energy. And Tropius also has Aerial Ace, which, like X-Scissor, is a bad move. So Jumpluff's coverage will let it hit a lot of the meta, like even for just neutral damage, and acrobatics from a Jumpluff still hurts, as anyone who's playing Arcana right now can tell you. Yeah. So very earned spot at the top of the meta for Jumpluff. It might be the secondary pivot that people have to try and deal with in addition to dealing with charm, is just how do you put damage on that Jumpluff to keep it from hitting you with those energy balls, hitting you with those nukes, and really putting your shields in danger early.
Yeah, and ice type Pokemon are banned, but not ice type moves. So if you have a Azumarill, you could hit it with an Ice Beam. Wigglytuff, Ice Beam. Swalot has Ice Beam. Drifblim, I think, is going to be really popular because it has Icy Wind. Jellicent, you could, instead of running Surf, you could run Ice. You could run Ice Beam, Shadow Ball. I like the Ice Punch idea on Hypno. Whiscash has Blizzard. I don't know if I'd want to put that in as my Jumpluff counter, but you could do a quick swap in, hit the Blizzard, swap out, get out of there. So Metacham is in this meta with Ice Punch. Like, there are choices. There are choices. Give me Hurricane Kaz would like a reason to build Swallow. And also, that is another thing. There's a lot of grass type in this meta. And all the common birds are banned. All the meta birds. So you have a reason to build Swallow for sure.
Kaz, I have a rank 1 Swallow that I'm actually going to be very excited to be able to use again in a Silph. I think I used it in one tournament like last year. Just like, I have a rank 1, I'm gonna use it. So I'm excited to potentially use my Swallow again going forward.
I'm just gonna say Wing Attack. This is the only reason why you should build any flying Pokemon right now. It's got Wing Attack. That is such a broken move that you can throw off spam charge moves, and it's got the same moveset as Skarmory. So you really already know your counts. You already feel comfortable with the charge move build up, the energy build up. You can play around it. What you just got to figure out is what kind of hits you can take with it. Its defense sitting at 98%, but as you can see, it's good for a closer. So get a shield on it and it could take up most of your meta or take out those grass. But yeah, with ice on the bench and no steal as well, and like we said, the top 8 meta Pokemon band, Zwellow is definitely something you'd want to have because it's a pretty common feel for a lot of battlers with those movesets.
Oh, it is not thick at all.
No, it's no.
Swallow is a glassy bird. Think like a Vigoroth thickness. Like it's not thick at all.
Yeah, no, it cannot. Well, it's slightly bulkier than you think, but yeah, it does not want to take a hit from anything really. It just wants to be in that kind of Pidgeot world where it's like, do you think it's the brave bird? You better shield if you think it's the brave bird. Yeah. So
it's definitely Azumarill and Jumpluff and Tropius are the tanks of the top 10. Besides that, everything else cannot take a hit. So those top 10 choices are yours and yours to figure out. But we'll give you some meta choices that could help. And some of them are top 10 choices. I saw some of them down there in the 40s. I'm excited to hear about some of those deeper dives. But if we're looking at real quickly the 20 spots, that is where you will get your charm users. As you see, all of the fairies are down here in the 20 spot. So be on the lookout as they will also be useful. Because if you don't want to have a charm, that's fine. But why would you handicap yourself in a meta where charm is obviously going to be prominent and valuable here? So be on the lookout for that. Ladies, are there any other Pokemon you see on this list that catch your eye that you might think, hey, this could be a cool one to have on your team?
Other than, the picks that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
I am excited, though, Dedenne meta. I'm happy about it being a Dedenne. I love Dedenne. I will definitely have one on my team. It is adorable. Thundershock, Discharge, and Play Rough. What's nice is you don't need any charge TMs. It only knows 2 charge moves. Yeah. It's great. And, it's, again, not very thick, but I do like, just because water is so popular, flying is so popular, I think Dedenne will be really popular as well.
Yeah, I mean, just looking through, I talked with a couple of Silph veterans before I got invited to be on here. We were talking about things, and one of them did bring up counter as a potential thing to look for, and I kind of dismissed it. But Defense Deoxys is in this meta. It's also a tank. Rock Slide Thunderbolt coverage is pretty good in this meta. So if you want a tanky option that might have a little bit of flexibility, don't count out the alien just yet.
It's the highest defense rated Pokemon in the meta, Defense Deoxys. Yeah. It's the highest defense rated Pokemon probably in any meta, along with like Araquanid, which is another option. If you want something really tanky for your team, if you want something that can take a hit or two,
yeah. Definitely
might be a little better than Psycho Cut Metachan.
Just a bit.
Yeah. What about Counter Wobbuffet XL style with return?
No, thank you.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god, DPhiE, I've never seen you have an angry, mad, like murderous, like if that's the murderous face you ever get, DPhiE, like I know how much you hate.
No.
You do not want that. Okay.
I don't want it.
This is why we're friends, because we're both just instantly like, get that out of here.
Get that out of here.
Absolutely not.
That abomination. Get it out.
I'm just gonna make a quick nod to Primarina. This water starter Pokemon with Charm has access to Moonblast and Psychic. It takes a while to build up, but it can take a hit. It does have that pressure. It has Charm. It's got some health to it. It also has Waterfall if you'd like a water movement on your team as well. But I just like Primarina. I've enjoyed it since it's been out as one of my favorite charm users on top of the Alolan Ninetales, because, I mean, Alolan Ninetales is the best charm user out there.
Yeah, Primarina's fun. I'm excited for it to get a community day at some point. Charm Hydro Cannon is gonna be quite the combination.
Finally.
Everything will hurt.
Everything will be pain.
All right.
So that'll be interesting.
Ladies, we are supposed to end GBL in like 2 weeks. And the new season's supposed to come in 3 weeks. Do you think any meta shifts are going to be made in this next GBL season that's going to affect Innocent Cup?
I can't speak for DPhiE. I don't think they're going to do much to this meta. I think they're very comfortable leaving it as is until Worlds in Yokohama. If they are going to do anything, there might be an impact. Because the main thing I was looking at for this season in speculation for move changes was Mystical Fire, which did get added to Delphox's move pool with that community day on the weekend. There are quite a few Pokemon that can actually learn Mystical Fire. Unfortunately, it doesn't help dissuade people from charm usage because one of them is Gardevoir and another one is Clefable. And if both those Pokemon get Mystical Fire, they are going to become very popular picks in this meta because not only does that give them a debuff move, it gets them a debuff move that is super effective against Jumpluff and Tropius and will do neutral against Electric. So those two Pokemon could potentially get a very nice boost with that. I think Galarian Rapidash also has Mystical Fire access, and that Pokemon's currently down at like at 50 in this meta, but if it got Mystical Fire, that would give it another bait move again, something to hit Jumpluff with. So that would be the biggest potential impact on Innocence Cup. That it's not going to be like Charizard and Ember where it just gets that wing attack buff and is broken. But like I said, there are a few Pokemon that could very much benefit from that Mystical Fire being added to their arsenal. So it will be interesting to see if Niantic decides to give any of them that access prior to this meta.
Are we allowed to talk what the good folks at Pokeminers have found in the mines, or are we leaving that speculation on the bench?
Absolutely. We got a couple more minutes before we need to desperately go into our core picks. If you've got some good information, absolutely, let's break it down. Let's find out. Because
I saw in the mines, I'm pretty sure, and I'm gonna go look for it, but I'm pretty sure I saw Leafage as a move come up into the Pokemon, and Liquidation. Those are the two moves I think I saw in a Pokeminers update. If you want to if anyone would like to verify that for me, let me know.
I can verify at least Leafage because I know my factions team has been spitting that out when we were talking about the different ones. But the one I wanted to say that the Pokeminers picked up was all the Gen 9 Pokemon that Pokeminers picked up. I'm really intrigued to see if you're going to introduce a new gen, why not at the beginning of a new season, which could be coming, the end of this month. And especially, Yokohama World seems really very Gen 9 starter friendly. Why not have all Gen 9 release as like your starters for Worlds and stuff like that during that time? Make it a real big celebration for Gen 9 because Scarlet and Violet is just so... They're doing everything to connect every game to Scarlet and Violet right now. So I feel like that could be the big thing. But Miss DPhiE, you got the information?
Yeah, so May 9th, the two move names were pushed, Liquidation and Leafage. Just the names, and then we have the Leafage sound effect as well.
Okay.
But we don't have anything more than that. So considering this meta is very heavy on flyers and grass types, that could potentially elevate some different grass and water types. That could elevate some different grass or water types that are maybe down like towards the bottom. That might elevate them depending on which Pokemon they go to. So maybe maybe Leafage ends up being better than like Seed Bomb or something. Liquidation ends up being better than Surf. So that could potentially change things around. Again, I have no idea. I just know those move I recognize those move names.
Yeah, this is all speculations. Just fun guesses. There is a meta shift. We all want to know what the meta shift, if it's going to be a big one. I agree with AJ. I don't think it's going to be too dynamic, but I also agree with AJ and think that they might actually release that mythical fire because it won't be such a big meta shift to GBL or play Pokemon, but for restricted meta it could be as well.
I just want to add quickly onto that, just to speculate on what those potential moves are. Leafage is essentially grass tackle, so I don't know if it would be a lot, but the main Pokemon that would help would be like Dartrix or Decidueye, giving them like a quick move that allows them to charge up, hit those Brave Birds, hit those energy balls a little bit quicker. Or
Dartrix is in the meta right now, but it's a Razor Leafer right now.
So Leafage could potentially give Dartrix a bit more play. Decidueye not eligible in Innocent because it is ghost typing. Liquidation is essentially Shadow Bone in comps in the VGC. And there are a lot of water Pokemon that learn it. So I just want you to picture an Azumarill with Shadow Bone. And we'll see if we actually need that.
Wait,
and they might not give it
with a water Shadow Bone?
Yes.
Yeah, water Shadow Bone.
Oh,
and they would they give it the same? Would they make it comparable to Shadow Bone because that's how it is in the VGC, or do you think they do their? Because Leafage could be a fast move or a charge move.
I think Leafage is more likely going to be a fast move. Like I said, it's a low level attack in the VGC. It makes sense they would keep it as something similar to, like I said, tackle, scratch, pound, those kind of moves.
But AJ,
what?
Charm.
Charm breaks all barriers.
They made Charm the way Charm is, so I don't trust anything. I'm not anticipating any correlation between VGC
Charm also
and
does no damage. So because Niantic can't have 0.
Did you just say Charm does no damage? Hold on.
In the VGC.
Oh, okay.
In the VGC, Charm does no damage.
Okay.
It's a non-damage move.
Yes,
it's only like a move for stats. So
Fun fact, when Sosa was playing Scarlet and Violet, he threw out a Charm thinking it was going to do damage and was totally shocked that it did nothing. It's like, wait, what?
Yep.
Well, those are wonderful discussions on what is coming, and I love the ideas of the mythical fire, of the leafage, of the liquidation. A Shadow Bone on some of these Pokemon would be huge. A water type Shadow Bone, but that would kind of just basically bench fire forever now. Like fire is on the bench and steel would be on the bench at that point.
Give Quagsire liquidation, please.
Let's go.
Oh, cool.
Quagsire, if it's fast, I'm down for that because Quagsire is in desperate need of a bait move.
Yeah. Well, shall we break into our core picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. It's core pick time. Pick core picks. Whoa. Why did I blank myself? There's my name. All right. So, this Innocence Cup, I absolutely, I went with the number 1 because I'm just loving Jump Pluff this entire season. It has been so comfortable to play ever since it got Fairy Wind. When we got Fairy Wind, it's the move that we've wanted for Jump Pluff. When it got Acrobatics, we're like, okay, that's cool, but Bullet Seed still takes forever. Like, those 4-turn, 5-turn fast moves really hurt you. Jump Pluff is the great demonstration as to when you give a 4-turn fast turn Pokemon that is terrifying an actual 2-turn move, it could actually play in the meta. And this thing has been so dominant. It's been great in Arcana. Everybody knows it. I'm gonna pull up because I got my stats right here, so I'm gonna pull up my notes here. It beats in the 1 shield 76% of the meta. Now hold on to your hats, everybody, because in the 2 shields, it beats 95% of all Pokemon in this meta. So only 10 Pokemon beat it, but the 10 Pokemon that do beat it, some of them, Drifblim, Hardwall, Zapdos, Zwoobat, Aerodactyl, Seaking, and Garbodor, but it does have a soft loss. It's a soft win, but it's of like a 504 on PV Poke to HU, but it has to bait. Like the electrics have to bait on some of these things. So Jump Pluff is so tanky. If you decide to pull up a strat and 2-shield your Jump Pluff, you can definitely get away with murder with it, and it can absolutely force your opponent to give up the shields or take the victory for you. So that's my boy. It's bulky. It's got great coverage. I love it. It just, when I learned about Energy Ball going from 7 to 6, I was able to make baits better. It just felt so comfortable to play with, and it can take a hit. Besides Ice, which is banned.
I will keep saying it to the heavens. This is why you need Ice to prevent Jump Pluff from going off.
Ladies, are there any thoughts on Jump Pluff in your opinion?
No, it's going to be number one for a reason. I think it'll be everywhere on a lot of teams, as will AJ's top pick as well to counter it. What we have coming up, I think those are going to be pretty much everywhere.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I agree. Well, I know you're giving off AJ's. What about yours, DPhiE? You've got your number one core pick right here.
I do, and it is Gliscor. That is my number one, especially with all of the grass types in the meta. And again, a lack of ice types really lets Gliscor shine quite a bit. I love also being able to use Night Slash, being able to go for the boost is something that I personally enjoy a lot. And there are a lot of electric types, kind of like Dedenne in the meta as well. You can hit with Earthquake. I just personally, I enjoy it a lot as a Pokemon. I think it's going to do really well. Even with some of the Charmers like Wigglytuff, it'll do well. You just have to be careful with that Ice Beam.
Yeah, it's ever since Wing Attack, we literally said it. Anything with Wing Attack, just build. It's so good of a move right now. Earthquake, Night Slash, and the opportunity to proc. That's always welcomed. Not that many ghosts out there, but there are psychics, so you do have that Night Slash coverage as well. It's a great Pokemon for sure in this meta, and also because it's that flyer and has that ground, goes against that electric as well, because electric seem to be so dominant right now if flyers are that prevalent. So that is a wonderful Pokemon pick right there.
Yep, definitely. It's 100% going to be on my team. And yeah, taking a look at the Charmers in the ones, beats Clefable and Slurpuff and Florges, beats all of those things. And it's a very tight battle against Togekiss. So overall, I think it's really good. Gonna do well against Hypno because it has that Night Slash. Gonna do like okay. It depends. If Hypno's running Ice Punch, maybe not. But if it's running Thunder Punch, might be a little bit of a different story.
Okay.
And you always love the bait game, mind games. You can start playing with people as well if they're going to shield what they think is an Earthquake, but it's just a Night Slash. Oh, and it boosts it as well. And now that Gliscor is just doing so much damage with those wing attacks. Like I said, once you start getting that shredded doubt in your opponent's minds, it just makes it so easier to exploit those winnable matchups that can get you from a 3-2 to a 4-1 in a tournament.
Yeah.
Someone in chat, imagine Jumpluff with wing attack. Let's not. I don't want to imagine that world. I don't want to live in that world. No, thank you.
I'm glad they gave it acrobatics because, imagine Jumpluff with Sky Attack instead of acrobatics.
No.
Ew. No.
Get that out of here.
Yeah.
Wing attack. So not Solar Beam, but Leaf. What is it? Leaf Storm. Wing attack. Leaf Storm. Sky Attack. Come on. Jumpluff would be broke.
It'd still die to a breath of ice, though.
Yeah,
a crisp morning would take that thing out.
Why stop there? Give Dragonite wing attack. Give Skarmory wing attack. Give everything wing attack. Yep. Why not?
Oh my God, Skarmory with wing attack would shift that meta so fast. Oh my God, FinalBossAJ. Let's get off the wing attack and get on to what actually, DPhiE's Googling over it. I'm Googling over it because it absolutely is the best Pokemon for this meta.
Yeah, and I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit here. Because when I looked at Innocence Cup for the first time and I was going over the roster of Pokemon that were available, there was one Pokemon that really stood out right off the bat for me. And I thought for a second it was the only Pokemon of its kind here, because we talked about the poison Pokemon being parachuted in, being very underwhelming, and not having access to the best poison fast move in the game, which is Poison Jab. There are 2 Pokemon in Innocent Cup that have access to that move. One of them is Komo-o, which you are not using on your team if I have anything to say about it, because everything we just talked about with Charm goes double for Komo-o and its Dragon Fighting type. So you will not be seeing that Pokemon on any rosters with anyone sane. However, the other Pokemon, and when I was talking with people about this before I was asked to come on, I just got like, yeah, that's a really good call. Before the PV Poke rankings were announced, I'm like, get your Legacy Sea Kings in order, everybody, because that Pokemon is going to be very, very important. Poison Jab is going to be so good against those Charmers. Sea King may not like taking Charm, but it is a warrior going at them. And, you know, if you're only single Legacy, why stop there? Get double Legacy, get Icy Wind on there. Your Jumpluff is in so much trouble, Sosa. You thought you could hide from the ice, not with the King of the Sea coming at you, blasting that chilling wind and sending your Jumpluff tumbling to the ground. And then, what's that? Dedenne coming in behind? Oh no! Too bad it's a triple Legacy and it has Drill Run for your Dedenne, so you're taking super effective on all sides. I don't give a dang about Charles III. I hail to this king, baby, in Innocent Cup. Sea King is going to be everywhere. Be ready.
That was probably the greatest closing line ever. I don't hail to Charles III. I hail to this Sea King. Great job. Sorry, DPhiE, go for it. I'm
just in awe of that first. And then Sea King, very difficult to beat in this meta because, like AJ said, it has so much coverage. So I would say, again, the electrics, so like Alolan Raichu, Zapdos probably, because it's flying, so that Drill Run isn't going to do as much. But it is tough to beat a Sea King in this meta. It's not easy.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about a Razor Leafer just because if we're dealing with all the Charmers and we're gonna have a Sea King to be the top counter for all the Charmers, Razor Leafer could be a thing. We could really see a Charm whole line of Charm double Razor Leaf. Like, this could be a thing in this meta if this ends up being a Sea King meta. And even with the Gliscor there that DPhiE has, that ground typing doesn't want to see Razor Leaf either. So, Sea King is definitely going to shift and shape the meta as one of the top Pokemon here. I know you're all like, oh yeah, look at that Poison Jab, look at that Poison Jab. I'm just terrified about that Icy Wind. If you got Icy Wind, it's just, you were right. When they banned Ice and you see all these flyers getting banned, you have to look at why. And the answer is because all of those flyers are just great coverage Pokemon throughout, and fly typing is probably one of the best typing to have in this meta. So finding something with access to ice is the way to go. Finding something that has the poison on your Charmer and ice, even better. Then triple legacying that and saying, I don't care about your electric, forget about it. Triple super effective moves across the meta. It is absolutely going to be the king of this. Great pick, AJ.
That's why you have me.
Absolutely. I think you're the one who brought out Quillfish. You're the one who thought about Quillfish during Ember Cup. It's just sad that you didn't have it. Huh. All right. Well, that is our first round pick. Some great 1, 2, and what are you, 10, 13, 11, 12, 13, number 13 Gligar, but the other few are basically Tropius and is the same as a Gliscor, or as the same as a Jumpluff. So I would say Gligar is in the top 10 there. These are some great leading picks here, but let's pair them up. We got core picks, and a core for people on a team is 2. So Miss AJ, let us get your paired up with that Seaking.
All right. So I am going to go a little bit off the board here. Because there's one Pokemon in the meta that really stands out for its ability to just kind of deal with Seaking. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I also don't like Seaking's ability to battle other waters. It does have that kind of weakness. And there are Mud Boys in this cup. We've talked about Whiscash already. Swampert is eligible. Quagsire is eligible. Mud Boys that, Seaking can handle, but doesn't really like as much. And then, again, there are the electrics. So I did say, hey, I got Drill Run. Yeah, they still have electric moves, and Seaking doesn't like those. So I want to look through, and with the types that we have on offer, you think about the counter to electricity, the counter to the Mud Boy. You want grass. And you took the number 1 grass option in here, Sosa, when you drafted that Jumpluff. So I'm going to reach down a little bit, and I'm going to start playing the mind games, because I'm going to go with number 23, which is Whimsicott, which, again, if we're going to have a Charmer, I might as well play some mind games with you, because you don't know if I'm running Charm on this Whimsicott. I could be running Razor Leaf. I could be, just trying to win that fast move game. But honestly, I'm probably going to run Fairy Wind for the same reason that you said for Jumpluff. It just gives it that coverage. It's not as good coverage as the Jumpluff. That flying defensive typing would be really nice for Whimsicott instead of the Fairy. Because, it's going to take 4 times damage from those poison jabs that I was just so hyped about moments ago. But Whimsicott does have some key wins that Seaking doesn't get. It just hammers Whiscash. It does well against Swampert. Like I said, Jellicent, a very popular water type. Dedenne. Whimsicott can beat Zapdos. According to DPhiE250, in the ones, it can beat Zapdos. It just doesn't like Jumpluff. And guess what? We have a Seaking that absolutely wrecks Jumpluff. So I am quite comfortable putting Whimsicott right next to Seaking and riding that little cotton ball to some well-earned Innocent trophies.
That's a great core pick. Yeah, you got your grass coverage. Usually you're like, oh, I'm weak to grass. I should get a flyer or a fire type. And you're like, nah, I'm going with that charm. I'm going with that fairy typing. I like that. You are, like you said, you are weak to Seaking. So then are you then investing shields in Whimsicott if you do end up seeing something that Seaking is good against and Whimsy is weak against?
I think that's an interesting situation, because I think Seaking is the Pokemon you want to protect more. And like I said, you're using Whimsicott against Seaking's hard answers. Like I said, Dedenne, Jellicent, Swampert, those types of things. If you get in there, you shouldn't need a shield to deal with them unless you have a rogue Swampert running Sludge Wave or something like that, a rogue Jellicent running Ice Beam. But you do outpace with the Whimsicott, so you are able to get that Grass Knot off before an Ice Beam comes into play. So you're able to pressure their shields first, which I like being able to do that. So I wouldn't be as invested in shields on Whimsicott. If I miss my target with the Whimsicott, it is what it is. We're going to try and win it with Seaking and go from there.
Nice. Miss DPhiE, what is your core Pokemon that you're pairing up? Oh, do you have something to say about Whimsy?
Nope. I'm ready for mine. So in limited metas, there's one Pokemon that I really like to rely on when it's allowed to get shields from my opponent and just be incredibly spammy. And that Pokemon is Samurott. Samurott in pretty much any meta that it's allowed in is my favorite safe swap generally. And in this meta, I don't see it too much differently. Again, it's not super high in the PvPoke rankings. It is not crazy high up there, but it does have some really key wins. And the big thing is making sure it's up energy. Fury Cutter just lets you get to those hydro cannons so quickly. And any Pokemon with hydro cannon is a threat. Some things that in the ones definitely destroys Whimsicott in the ones. So consider that. It beats your psychic types if anyone's bringing like Hypno, Defense, Deoxys. It beats some of the waters too. Like Swampert loses to Samurott generally, especially if Samurott's up energy. And then Samurott, I think Gliscor will be really popular. Samurott does really well against Gliscor. It beats Zapdos in the ones. I think that just goes to show like how quickly it gets to Hydro Cannon, how good it can be. So I personally think that that's going to be really important for me in my team of 6 is going to have just something that's a really good safe swap. It's really consistent and can pressure those shields.
And it's got a bug move, a bug nuke that puts pressure on those types as well. I mean, you said you beat Jumpluff. Both of you are just really hard on Jumpluff. God, what did that Jumpluff ever do to you?
Hey, it could be worse, Sosa. That Samurott can indeed run Blizzard. So
Shh, don't say that to her. She's right there. She could hear that.
Just saying. I mean, you can run Mega Horn for those Hypnos, for those Wylas.
It's very interesting that you say that, AJ. This entire season, I felt like Silph has been allowing us to be able to open up Pokemon that gives not just the regular 3 moves that we know. Like, we are allowed to run Ice Beam on something that doesn't necessarily, that should be running a Shadow Ball. You can run Charm on your Whimsicott. I feel like these metas have done that. Are you running Blizzard on your Samurott, Ms. DPhiE, then?
It's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
There's just so much grass and flyers in the meta that Blizzard is certainly an option, and it would definitely, I think, I'd get the shock factor, certainly, from some opponents. But no, I think just the pressure of Hydro Cannon, even against, an electric type, like they have, like, HU has to shield everything. Yeah. So...
Yeah, we talked about it. Those top electric types can't take a hit.
No, they cannot. So I just really like having a Pokemon that can put that pressure on. And I think that would be a really good pair to Gliscor. There are going to be some things that you need to balance it out with, but that's what you have a third Pokemon for.
It absolutely is. Looks like all you really want is just a Razor Leafer to eat up whatever Sea King comes your way, and then you're just done diddly on to take on the rest. Now, I asked DPhiE, I'm going to ask you, AJ, Hurricane. Do you think Hurricane is needed on Whimsy over Grass Knot and Moonblast? And this question is brought to you by Hurricane Kaz, who chef kissed to find out that Whimsicott gets Hurricane. So are you putting Hurricane on Whimsy?
Shout out to the current Captain B. It depends on team comp. In a neutral team, I'd say no. I think, like I said, if you're putting it with Seeking is one of your primary counters for grass in this meta, and then you can balance it out with other flyers that can do the job a little better than Whimsicott can. Like there's a surprise term, but if you're just looking for more consistency, I'd rather have Moonblast, and I will offer Hoff whatever she needs to get those Moonblast debuffs on my side. But yeah, I just think in a vacuum, that's the moveset you want on Whimsicott.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for that. As I'm going to give my last and final core pick here, you got to protect your boy Jumpluff from everything that's coming your way. You got water-type Pokemon with ice moves. You got grass-type Pokemon with fairy moves. And you got... crazy flyers with ground typing. Like, forget about it. I need my Jellicent, and I need it to have Ice Beam. I don't need it to have Shadow Ball. And the reason I chose Ice Beam this time, and that's what a great transition onto the changing of movesets, and why I brought this up is because in this meta, having Ice Beam is going to be far superior when it comes down to all the Pokemon I'm going to see during that 1, 2, 3 lineup, because I feel like a flyer is going to be on everybody's 1, 2, 3 line. and all of those flyers and a lot of these Pokemon are neutral damage, like neutral soakage of that Shadow Ball. So I don't want to see it. I'd rather my Jellicent have play. And also Ice Beam super effective against grass. Now that Jellicent has an actual move, an actual bait move that does damage, that puts actual pressure down. Yeah, it is so exciting to see that Surf is on there. I do have Hex because I don't think Bubble is the way to go. You don't really need it. There's going to be Charm going off like crazy, so a lot of these battlers will be giving up the 3 and 4 turn moveset for that Charm, so Hex is just as good. And I feel that this Pokemon here is going to give my Jealous Jumpluff the extra coverage it needs. And hold on, together they rank 673. Now Jellicent takes out 78% of the meta in the 1 shield. And with Hex and 0 shields, takes out 81% of the meta. So,
but Sosa, what are you going to do against Seaking if you don't have Shadow Ball?
Right? No, hold on. I mean, come on.
You get locked on a Seaking. That's
you get to have a third Pokemon. I get to have a third Pokemon.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I was gonna ask about that because I think
hold on. I have
the
you
argument
both...
for double nuke.
No, I have you both beat. I have the reason why. So, and this is what I love about Jellicent. With the 81% of the meta that it takes without giving shield, I'm not gonna give up shield. And if I know that my boy Jumpluff takes 95% of the meta, all I really need to land on a counter from my Jellicent is a Surf, and takes all of those 400 that I lose to, or 300 that I lose to, and makes the win con back in the Jellicent favor on the 2 shield. Hence why I have the Ice Beam. I know that Shadow Ball is great, and it should be, but I expect to see my Jellicent coming up against a lot of flyers and still being able to have good coverage with that without Shadow Ball against that Seaking. So Jellicent is absolutely there for my boy Jumpluff, and that's why those 2 core Pokemon work together.
Fair.
But screw your Seaking. I'll have my own Seaking. I'll put it on my own. I'll have Seaking on top of these 3. Come on, Raise the Leafers. Come at me.
I mean, I have ways to deal with your Seaking. I'll say that.
See, these are wonderful cores. What do you ladies think about these core Pokemon that we got going on right now?
I think they're all great. I think we picked some of the best in the meta.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't going to go with Samurott, I probably would have gone Dedenne. I mentioned Dedenne earlier that I just enjoy that Pokemon's existence. Or Swallow. Again, not necessarily as a core pairing, but just Pokemon to put with these other ones to kind of balance them out a little bit. I don't know how much Charm. I feel like it would be interesting to try to run a team without Charm. No fairy types on the team, just fairy type counters.
I wouldn't exclude fairy types in general. I mean, I am running a fairy wind user in Whimsicott, but if you can win without Charm in this meta, respect. Yeah. All the respect.
That should be a Poke Battle Network challenge. Win Innocence Cup without a Charm player. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Ladies, these are some great core picks you have picked up here. I really appreciate you coming here and doing these core, giving us your knowledge on Innocence and what you've thought of. Shall we now go down to Studio B and build a team of 6?
I am down for that. Let's go.
All right. Oh no, I don't have a video. Where's my image? Oh, that's why, because it's not that one. Miss AJ. So I'm gonna mix this up. I know we said that I would shoutcast, but you know what, DPhiE? I'd rather have you shoutcast. I'd rather have you shoutcast. And AJ, I'd rather you show up your screen in the chat room, and I will battle you as we build your team up.
Are you gonna? Yeah. Am I gonna get a?
So you should be able to see the screen share in Ninja, right?
Yeah, I don't see in Ninja right now. I see just me and AJ.
Fail.
Yeah,
There you go.
I've been following along on the YouTube. Which
Yep, I've
allowed me
been
to
watching
see
the
chat.
delay on YouTube.
Girls,
Hi,
why didn't you
chat.
tell me? You know I don't. I felt so bad. I'm so sorry. Oh. Well, I'm
We
glad.
make it work, Sosa. We make it work.
I know
buddy.
we do. Y'all are the best. I'm so grateful to have you ladies here with me today. It's wonderful. Thank you for closing out the Innocence and Silph. I'm holding it in as much as I can. I'm getting all emotional right now. So if you would share screen into the Discord, Miss AJ.
I will do my best. The let me see. Where is our thing? 1 sec.
And we're gonna.
What I have to do is get my phone into Streamlabs and then share my projector output from Streamlabs because I've tried to share directly like my phone because I'm in the computer.
How about this? How about I'll share my phone? Make it a lot easier.
Actually, wait. I can enter. Sorry, I can enter here because we're not on a call. I should be able to do this.
Yeah, we're not on a call on.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Yeah. In the meantime, Hurricane Cass says, "I'ma do it. I hate charm. You should do it. That should be the challenge. Can you win?
Can you win without charm?
Silph Innocent Cup without charm. Oh no,
right.
I should.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm gonna give a call.
Yeah, just make sure to mute yourself in there.
Yeah. I am muted.
Okay, I've dismissed the call, so it's not. I don't have to worry about it.
It's me.
No worries. I mean, we see you on the screen already.
Yeah, but not from that angle.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not a pleasing angle. I don't
know.
Everybody who puts the camera below their chin, I'm like, hey,
oh my god,
hey, let's try to get that up higher, please.
All right,
also,
there we go. You can see my maxed out storage from traveling through the states of like Pokemon I want to trade for XLs.
Excellent. We will get that in just a sec.
But yeah, you should be able to see it now. Got myself a rank 205 throw, but when I was at home, so I can actually do Fighting Cup next time.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my goodness. It is 6:57 p.m. I've got 3 minutes quick to catch all these Skorupi in my yard.
Oh, get them!
I forgot all about that. Bleep me.
I want to at least get the ones in the yard. At least get the ones in the yard.
I mean, I
forgot about the evolution too. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, do the evolutions?
Yeah, bleep me.
It's fine.
Oh, well.
We'll be okay.
I don't need experience. I'm only 15 million away from level 50. It's fine.
You get there eventually.
It's not a race. It's a marathon. We all know it. We all live it. All right, AJ, we've got your screen up. So if you could put up a blank slate that says Innocence, and let's add what's a Pokemon that we'd like to add for our first team build, ladies.
I'm gonna go with my boy first.
Let's see, King. All right, let's do it.
Actually, girl. Sorry.
Yeah, let's throw up.
Mine is Femme and rank 1, and her name is Koira.
Very cool.
Innocence.
Where did your image go?
Let's do that. But yeah, when I was identifying targets, I already had her marked. She is rank 1. She is beautiful. She is going on his team. Seeking is my first pick, and should be everyone's first pick who is lucky enough to have one.
Welcome, everybody. We are in Studio B now with DPhiE and FinalBossAJ as she is yelling at us, telling us that Seeking should be our first pick. So we are going to tag Seeking for Innocence Cup. And since we have Seeking there, we were talking about, let's pull up a PV poke, shall we? What else would we like to add with the Seeking? Do we want to add that Jump Pluff next to it and give it that grass coverage? You seem to like that Grass Fairy and Whimsicott.
I do, but like you said, Jump Pluff is going to be very, very dominant. I don't actually have an Excel one ready. This is my rank 500 girl that I've been using.
Call yourself
in
a battler?
Arcana. I have the Excel, I just never have the dust, Sosa. I'm dust poor. Help me. Donate your dust to me. I will open up a friggin' Patreon with dust donation to donate dust to me so I can actually build some of these XL Pokemon. I have a rank 4 that I could build, but I don't.
My girl, we literally just had a triple Stardust community day where you were surrounded by 1,000 Pokemon players and could have gotten so many silver foxes and 1,000,000 Stardust in the 3 hours with your star pieces. I don't want to hear about how you need the... Oh, not
You
to
could
mention...
build this one. You could build this one, AJ.
Yeah. Not to mention, Go Battle Day that just happened. We're in Master League's triple Stardust. Do not come at us with Stardust. You just haven't built it yet, girl.
Do not remind me about community day. I was ticked because there was a hundo Fennekin that spawned at the event, and I missed it because it was a lure spawn, and I was busy doing a rocket.
Girl.
So,
well, so Jumpluff is our number 2. We got Seaking Jumpluff. Miss DPhiE, what do you think our third Pokemon should be?
All right, so you've got Seaking, you've got Jumpluff. I think you're still kind of weak to opposing Seaking is still a problem, I think. So probably something that can also threaten the Seaking. Maybe, I don't know, Drifblim maybe, AJ? Were you thinking Drifblim?
I do like Drifblim as an option in this cup. But I want to throw out a different Pokemon to start here because we were talking about those electrics at the start, and I want to throw the idea out for a Alolan Raichu, but I want to run Thundershock.
Interesting. Why Thundershock?
Mostly for flexibility purposes. Sosa was talking about the flexibility of having a 2-turn move on Jumpluff instead of a 3 or a 4-turn move. I think in this kind of meta, you want to be able to hit those in between those charms. If you're stuck in a charmer, you want to be able to match Seaking so you're not giving up poison jabs every time. Okay. You want to be able to have that flexibility. So I would prefer to run Alolan Raichu on Thundershock as opposed to Volt Switch because Wild Charge is still going to knock out Seaking no matter what. Thunder Punch is still going to do a lot. So I'm going to make the case for Thundershock Alolan Raichu right now and put Alolan Raichu on the team.
I like that because we were talking about earlier how a lot of Pokemon can't take a hit in this meta, but some of the ones that can are water Pokemon. So now you're putting that pressure onto those thick Pokemon out there. That's a great pick. I'm about it. Let's add Alolan Raichu to the mix with Thunder Punch and Wild Charge now. You know what? You ladies sold me on Swalot, so I would like to say maybe if we could get a Poison User or a Charmer at this point now. We're there for, we got, what is it, 3 or 4 Pokemon? 3 Pokemon now. I feel like this is the time to get one of those 3-turn, 4-turn moves Pokemon that put that fast move pressure down. So Swalot or a Charmer, what do you ladies think?
I'm down to build Swalot. Like you want me to spend dust, I will spend dust.
I mean, a 10,000 second move, that's not so bad. Honestly.
No, that isn't. I can do that right now. Please be Ice Beam.
Whoa, you can do this, but you can't build XL Jumpluff? Are you even a battler? Can you call yourself a battler then, AJ?
Look at that. 1 turn for Ice Beam. Let's go.
Let's go.
I was going to say, it can't be too much.
It's 94K.
You could still build an XL Jumpluff right now, on stream right now. If I beat you on stream right now, would you build it?
I'm going to... What?
If I beat you on stream at this best of 3, if I beat you, would you build it?
Fine.
Yeah!
I will do it. You will prove to me it's worth, but
I will prove to you everybody it's worth, but
I have Lumpy now. So he's moved from project to great. Or she, sorry, again, misgendering my Pokemon. I'm terrible.
That's 4, right? 2 more now.
2 more now. So
Can I pick another one?
Of course.
One of my
Absolutely.
core picks.
We're building teams. We're building teams.
What do you think about putting Gliscor on there? Because I do think it's really
Yes.
strong.
Yes.
Like, I do think Gliscor can fill in a little bit on this. I think it will have some wins that are unique to the others. And again, like it's not like your big, heavy, fast move Pokemon, but Night Slash Boost, Earthquake. I think there's a lot it can do for you here.
Does AJ have one built?
Of course.
What? You don't have a jump glove?
Regina's ready.
That's a great call there, DPhiE. I like it because there's not really that much that we're worried about with any ice Pokemon right now. Like, it feels real comfortable. I like that. That's a great call.
Yeah, and one of the things as we were building this team, I was looking at is extra protection against those electric Pokemon. Like I said, Seeking doesn't like any of them, even with Drill Run. So being able to be like your Dedenne is not going to have a free run. Your Zapdos isn't going to have a free run. By putting Gliscor on there and walling that electric damage, I really like having that on there. I was also looking at Swampert, but I mean, Gliscor is just more fun.
All right, so we put Swalot, we put Gliscor. One more Pokemon. We haven't put any Charmer down.
We haven't.
But should we?
I'm very proud of us.
I was about to say, I'm very proud of us as well for not doing that. That's great. Yeah. Should we? Should we get audience
participation? Or just pick something that beats Charm.
Should we get audience
Or just have Charm counters.
Okay. I want to propose something here.
Propose.
So I've been building along in PvPoke as we go. Just to make sure our bases are covered.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 options right now are number 3 threats against us right now are Swellow, Drifblim, and Staravia, all flyers. And we have an electric type in Alolan Raichu that can deal with them, but doesn't have a lot of bulk to it. What if I propose something that has a little more bulk?
Ew.
Relicanth's allowed in this meta?
Right?
Relicanth is a water Pokemon. It is allowed in this meta.
Not even on PvPokes, like alternatives that you want to add to this team to cover those 3 Pokemon. You're pulling out the spiciest spice regional here. Relicanth. And it's got Water Gun, Aqua Tail, and it's got Rock Slide as well.
I will put Relicanth
or
on
Ancient
this
Power.
team.
Sorry, Ancient Power.
I will put Relicanth on this team if I'm relieved from building XL Jump Left.
No, because I want you to build XL Jump Left, and
I may not have enough to do it if I double move this Relicanth.
Exactly, that's why I'm saying no. There is one Pokemon that does beat all 3 of those, and does give us good coverage as well that we haven't talked about, but is a good one to look at if you're looking for water, and that's a Azumarill. If you're looking for water,
I was also gonna say Azumarill, but again, I didn't.
I mean, Relicanth. You could play Relicanth. Like, I've got no problem with Relicanth, but I don't want you to, if it's going to stop you from building the Jump Pluff, because what am I fighting you for then, huh? I want you to make that Jump Pluff. Call it Sosa.
I'm more than happy to accept and get Azumarill in here as bulk as well, because a lot of the Pokemon we've picked so far don't have a lot of bulk. Azumarill does give us a big bulky Pokemon to absorb some hits. Doesn't like the poison jabs from Seeking.
No.
Doesn't really help our Seeking problem, but we do have options against Seeking. So yeah. I'm fine with that.
The top recommended thing to fill in would have been like a Zapdos because it beats all the flyers. But you need bulk instead, I think.
Yeah.
And that works pretty well for that.
Hold on, I just put the Azumarill in there. And how do we feel? Can we see the team of 6 for the audience, please, AJ? So the audience can see what we have created. The creation of Innocence.
Behold.
Baba. Seeking, Jump Pluff, Alolan Raichu, Azumarill, Gliscor, and Swalot.
Also, all 6 female for me, so that makes me feel pretty damn good.
That's pretty good.
Very good.
Ladies, I like this team. I think this has great bulk. It's got good attack coverage. It's got good shield pressure. You have nukes where you need it.
Yeah, and And you look at, and again, you look at the threats on PV Poke. Sea King's the number one threat, but Sea King's going to be a threat to everything.
Everybody.
It is a little weak to the poisons, but again, we are assuming that not a lot of poisons are going to be played because aside from Swalot, the other three are very bad. So I'm not worried about Dragalge being a threat. And granted, again, we have no Charm on here. So Charm would deal with Dragalge, would deal with a lot of things. But we are trying to do something special here. We are trying to look this last meta that Silph has said, Charm shall reign over all. We're going to look it in the face and say, no, not today, not ever. Our final stand will be
Yeah, I've got no more words to say here. I'm going to send a challenge to you right away. DPhiE, is there anything you'd like to say about this team? Oh, AJ, put it back up one more time. For DPhiE to say one more thing. I got
No, I think this team has. I think the team has really good coverage. I'm excited to see how AJ plays it. Lots of really good options against the main meta, and just some fun stuff too. Like Alolan Raichu is fun to play. Gliscor is fun. So some to make it enjoyable as well. Lots of flexibility.
I feel so. Cool. Well then, I'm gonna get a team of 6 for you. And I'll let you know what that is, as it will obviously be a Sea King.
I assume Sea King. There we go. There's Thunder Punch. That's what I want. I was tempted to say I'm gonna run Grass Knot on Alolan Raichu just in case like a Gliscor pops out or a Swampert. Actually, I might do that anyway, just because Swampert's very bad for Alolan Raichu in its current form. And if we do have Thundershock on there, that does give us the flexibility to build the moves a little bit, kind of store energy. So like Thunder Punch is a fine bait move, but you know what happens when you get caught in the bait. So I shouldn't have TM'd it away. Now I'm just going to spend like 5 TMs for no reason.
Where are all your charged TMs, AJ?
I spent them all.
On what? Not Jump Love.
Various things. Also, I don't raid very often. Pay me to raid, Niantic.
Have you not been paying attention to Niantic?
I know.
They're not paying anybody to do anything. What? I just tagged all these. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm sorry, ladies. Give me one more second. So it was Jumpluff, Tropius, Jellicent, Wigglytuff, Sea King. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. There you go.
And
Well, while he's thinking, did you know Florges, the number 3 pick, can also run Razor Leaf? Did you know that Florges is a Razor Leaf user? Because I didn't.
I did.
That's new information.
You gotta do 20 hearts with it though, to involve it. So it's an active Pokemon. I really wanted to play with it, but I don't have it ready yet. I actually will be playing with it. It looks really fun.
Do I have my Florges ready?
I don't.
All I have to do is double move it.
So my team, Miss AJ, is Tropius, Jumpluff, Jellicent, Wigglytuff, Driftbloom, and Sea King. Okay?
Okay, so you're going double
Ghost.
And double Grass Flyer.
Yes.
So let me just
I needed some flying attack.
Let me just see. So Tropius, Jumpluff. And apologies to Hurricane Kaz. On my team, I'm probably going to have Swellow.
I agree, the North Star. Use a Poffin. It's not that bad to get 20 hearts out of Pokemon. I do that in one day with a Poffin. I agree.
All right. I will definitely do it with my Poffin. It won't be hard. I know. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not. I should have done it. I will.
You can do it in 2 days without a Poffin.
Can we?
Also, for the viewers at home, they got a preview of my stream later tonight with the Little Cup team up front.
Okay, so I've sent you, AJ, the result. I am listening DPhiE, but I am not looking at what AJ is building or what AJ is playing with. Does that make sense? So just
Okay.
Yeah, I will be on mute as well, just so I don't give anything away.
I won't be on mute, but I won't be able to see Vash.
Oh, well then, what am I doing?
I don't know.
Actually, I can't see what you're doing anyway.
You can't
no,
see what
y'all
I'm doing
get to
anyway.
talk to
You
me.
don't have to do anything.
Y'all get to hear me.
Okay.
It's fine.
Can we talk to you at least? Yeah.
yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Yes,
throughout.
you can.
You
All right.
do.
What are we doing to start here against Sosa's team?
What are we doing? All right, DPhiE, go ahead and cast away as we're locking in teams.
All right, welcome trainers. We are at the Innocent Cup Core Picks testing ground here at the battlefield. We are working with SosaFlow and FinalBossAJ. We just got done talking about some really fantastic Pokemon picks for this final Silph Arena meta, this final individual limited meta from the Silph Arena, and this meta is all about charm. But FinalBossAJ out here with a team not running charm. So very, very good stuff. We are about to kick it into these battles. Our trainers are locking in. Look at those Lunala wings. We love to see it. We love to see that flex. And here we go. We have a Alolan Raichu into Tropius. Let's take a look and see what the fast move on this Tropius is. There are a couple of different options, and I see grass. With the grass flying, that is Razor Leaf. So FinalBossAJ building up to moves. You will notice, trainers, that is not a Volt Switch Raichu. That is the fast move of Thundershock. So with throwing a Wild Charge, switching into that Swalot. Swalot being one of the only 4 Poison-type Pokemon in the meta. Tropius fires off that Leaf Blade. It is resisted. SosaFlow switches out into the king of the Innocence Cup meta, and that is Seaking. Seaking not being a poison-type Pokemon, but having that poison-type fast move to put on a lot of pressure. Swalot stings with that Sludge Bomb. Seaking already at another move. Let's see what it is. Swalot has to be prepared for the Drill Run, doing super effective damage. Swalot building up a bunch of energy here before firing another move. Infestation builds really, really quickly. So AJ is going to be able to spam out these moves 1, 2, 3, 4. Incoming from the Seaking will. AJ let the Swalot go. Chooses to let the Swalot go. It actually stayed on with 1 HP. That is impressive. Swalot having quite the defensive and HP stats there. And then AJ bringing back in the Alolan Raichu featuring that Thunder Shock. We will have to see what move is AJ going to throw here. It is a Wild Charge, allowing that Seaking to go down. AJ brings in a Seaking of her own, rocking that Poison Jab, and we know Seaking is running that triple legacy moveset. Got to break out those elite charge TM trainers. You can get them from the Go Battle League. You can get them from Community Day boxes. Seaking fires that ice beam. Can Seaking get to a move before the Tropius faints it? It can. Gets to a move to fire here. That would be an Icy Wind shielded by Sosa. And then we have the Thunder Shock on the Alolan Raichu. However, Alolan Raichu did not have quite enough gas in the tank, needed a little bit more HP to be able to fire that last move. So, SosaFlow taking that first battle.
Yeah, that Swalot's tankier than I thought it was.
Yeah.
It is very tanky.
All right. That'll come into play. Come into play.
Isn't that gonna be
think
handy?
about that?
Isn't that gonna be handy? I really liked the actual damage Charm did to Seaking. I know it's not the matchup you want on Seaking, but I mean, it still chunked a good amount of that health when it came down to Charm. So
yeah. Yeah, and Wiggly is probably the best of the charmers you have on offer.
Mm-hmm.
With that extra bulk, with Wiggly's CP being down a bit compared to some of its siblings in charm solidarity. So it is probably going to be the number one charm option you see. And if Seeking can't get that debuff on to actually take a bit of the sting out of those charms, it could be in trouble. So we'll have to see what
That's
we
why
do.
that's why I swapped it out immediately. I was like, no, I see how much damage charm is doing. I'm gonna take it off the table and I'm gonna get in with that Razor Leaf. But that was, I can't believe Swalot still survived even after that super effective drill run. That was incredible.
Yeah, taking a look at the PB Poke rankings, if you sort by stamina, Swalot is comparable to a Tropius in terms of stamina, in terms of, like, it's comparable to, like, a Gastrodon, a Whiscash. Like, it's right in that area of stamina. So not bad. Like, it's tankier than you would think.
All right, so let's try this again.
Locking in. Here we go.
All right. Here we have our game 2. Will Sosa take it here? We have Seeking into Drifblim. Drifblim being a rare counter to Seeking in this meta, as Seeking's poison jabs will be ineffective. However, Seeking getting to a move first. Out of the two options, this can really only be Icy Wind, and takes a large, super effective chunk out of Drifblim. Ice Wind being a great charge move because it has that 100% debuff chance to your opponent's attack. Sosaflow succeeding with the Icy Wind bait, and Seeking is building up energy. AJ makes a catch onto a Gliscor, but is it a Shadow Ball? Is it an Icy Wind? It was catching the Shadow Ball. Very nice catch there by FinalBossAJ. Sosa brings in one of his core picks, and that is a Jellicent. But what charge move did Sosaflow put on his Jellicent? Is he running Shadow Ball? Is he running Ice Beam? Is he running Surf? What is the move pool here on the Jellicent? We see the Surf go through, and Gliscor building up to continuing to build up to moves, but Jellicent gets there first, and is going to be able to throw a Surf to knock out the Gliscor. AJ has two very healthy Pokemon, but has to fight through two shields on Sosaflow's side of the field. So will the bulk of this Seeking be able to get through Jellicent's defenses here? Two shields again remaining in play on the side of the field of Sosaflow. Sosaflow lets the Jellicent go. Then we have the Drifblim coming back out. We do need to see we have not yet seen AJ reveal what is in the back. I also don't think we've seen what Sosa is running back behind the Drifblim, but we will be seeing that soon enough as Drifblim gets to this move. If it is a Shadow Ball, the Seeking will get knocked out. It is the Shadow Ball. And then incoming the Jumpluff, and it is the Seeking in return. This is going to be dangerous for AJ's Jumpluff, having the insider information that this is not an XL Jumpluff. It is going to have a harder time up against that Seeking. Seeking is going to be able to use Icy Wind. Jumpluff is going to struggle against any Ice-type moves. Super effective attack debuff. I don't know if Jumpluff can get to that energy ball in time. Just barely, but is it enough to knock out? That Seeking is still very healthy, and there's another Pokemon in the back. Not enough to knock out Seeking, and Sosaflow takes a second win.
I'm gonna cancel that bet right now. Sosa, you know my entire freaking moveset. No, you didn't tell me your moves.
What moveset would you need to know, girl?
That Tropius was on Razor Leaf and not Air Slash?
I told you someone could run Charm Hole. Did I not say someone could run Charm Hole?
I don't know.
I'll just let you know right now, my Jellicent doesn't have Ice Beam on it, so I'm only throwing Surf. if that helps you out. Like, was
I-
built up for the Ice Beam, only throwing Surf though because I don't have Ice Beam on it. I did not TM that away.
I also really want my Swellow. Swellow would help me so much against double Ghost. Like, I try to make Gliscor work there, but seeing the Drifblim on the lead, I'm like, it's not really going to do what I want it to do. So that's why I kind of banked on catching
That
that
is
Shadow
really
Ball.
tough, though, to be fair. Like, you knew her whole team, and then you built yours.
I'm sorry.
That
if I'm
gonna find
What?
AJ an out, that
Why?
would be the out.
That's fine. I have 3 anti-electric or against like just get walled by your boy Raichu. Like I got 3 flyers on my team, and like easy should be money. But I understand. Like I did not. We don't have to take the bet then. That's fine. AJ knew my team when I built it for Ember Cup, and she whooped me, and I didn't say much because it was just a hard whooping. And she brought in. What did you bring that game? Because you brought in something that changed. You brought in something that changed my mind. I think you brought in Minin or something like that. That I was like, what? But anyways.
Yeah, Tyler Robinson too. Missing that. There was a Night Slash that AJ had stored that didn't.
That's on me because I forgot that it's 4-3.
Yeah.
That
Again, the
4-3.
reason why I love Surf on Jellicent now, because now it has a move that actually puts damage down on its opponents.
Yeah, that was on me. To be fair, I have been traveling a lot lately.
Yeah. No, we got one more. We got one more, and then we can talk about the team. You can say how much Zwalot was great, but you'd rather have Zwello.
I think I'd probably have Swellow on here instead of Gliscor. Sorry, DPhiE.
That's okay. That's fair. I still love my Gliscor.
That's
it's very good. It will be on my team. 100%.
I almost put it on too, but on my team, and I was like, nah, I'll just go with double grass.
It's just there's a lot of things with Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Blizzard in this meta, so that is very scary for Gliscor. However, it's just too good. The Knights, the Knights.
Are you locked in?
All right. Yeah,
I'm locked in. Let's do it.
We are
game
locked
3.
in. Let's go ahead and get into our game 3. We have Raichu against Jumpluff. So let's go ahead. We have both players staying in this match. Raichu, we know, has that move of Wild Charge that definitely Jumpluff, even as thick as it is, has to respect. AJ making a catch, building up a ton of energy, and catching an energy ball, not very effective on that Swalot. Now we have the Jellicent. Unfortunately, Swalot doesn't have a lot of tools in its toolbox to be able to handle this ghost-type Pokemon, ghost and water-type Pokemon. So Swalot will do its best, but now AJ knows where that Jellicent is. It is drawn out. She knows that it is there, so we can take that information. Like I said, against Sludge, the Sludge not going to be very effective against this ghost type Jellicent. Jellicent is going to use Surf. That is not going to knock out the Swalot. Swalot is very bulky and it can handle quite a bit. So going to be going for just a little bit more chip damage on the Sludge Bomb, taking the Jellicent down to about half health. And with one more Hex, doesn't quite get to another move. One more Hex knocks out the Swalot. Now AJ has a decision to make on what to bring in to best counter the Jellicent. As she brings the switch timer down, that Raichu left with a substantial amount of energy when she made that fantastic catch. So Raichu goes for the Grass Knot so as to not self-debuff. And then gets another quick fast move in as we wait for the Jellicent. Jellicent using Surf doesn't take out the Raichu. We see a quick switch on the side of Sosa. We see Sosa brings out that Charmer of Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff getting a lot of damage from that Wild Charge, and now it is just going to get farmed down. AJ is riding that Psyking like a tractor, farms completely down that Pokemon, and is able to fire off a charge move here. going for that icy wind. Jumpluff's key weakness, quadruple weak to that ice type coverage that Seaking brings to the table. We see a shield here. We are now even shield Seaking, doing a lot of damage with its fast move and exiting that matchup with a lot of energy. Now, Swala didn't have a lot of tools in the toolbox to be able to deal with a ghost-type Pokemon. Seaking, on the other hand, has Drill Run, which AJ went for and can now fast move down that farm and taking out to win Game 3 with a Sinnoh Stone as that prize.
I mean,
GG's, great drill run. I was banking on the icy wind bait there, and that was great call.
Yeah, I didn't think with one shield remaining I needed to bait. I just needed to, get you there. And like I said, that catch I made on the start of that Game 3.
Huge.
I was thinking we were
catch.
gonna try and cut off a double up if I decided to go that route. So I was kind of counting like Thundershock takes me 10 to get there on Thundershock. Thank you, Raiko, for helping me learn that. I figured you would throw on 10. So that's why I'm like, I'm just going to eat this energy ball because there's no way acrobatics is coming. So
funny. I was like, all right, I'll just go a couple after. And immediately I hit it. I saw it. All right. No. No. She's too patient with her energy. She's so good. Thank you, DPhiE, for casting that. Amazing job. I had to turn it down. I was like, I'm focusing on what DPhiE's saying. Like, she's doing so well. Like, I want to watch the battle.
You'll have to go back and watch it. That's the beauty of YouTube, is you can go back and you can rewatch the live stream. Yeah. But no, that was really fun. Thank you for letting me cast those battles. Yeah. Very enjoyable.
AJ, how did you feel with that team?
Yeah, running it back with because that was the Game 1 line that I ran there. The Alolan Raichu and then the double poison. Essentially, I'm gonna use quotes for Seaking as a poison type. Having those, having that knowledge that yes, Swalot could take a hit if I needed to. Because that was the big revelation out of those battles for me. Swalot bulky as heck.
Yeah.
So yeah, Swalot can take a drill run pretty easily. And then the secondary knowledge is that Seaking has great coverage. The stats still aren't great on Seaking, so even a rank 1 like the one I have, it's still not gonna do. It's not gonna be like, oh, drill run's gonna take you out. No, you're gonna have to do extra stuff in addition to that drill run. So you are gonna have to probably invest shields in keeping Seaking up and keeping that flexibility, keeping that safe swap there. But yeah, the second time through, like I said, I knew more what I was gonna do. I knew if that grass Pokemon was coming back up front. And like Jumpluff as opposed to that Razor Leaf Tropius made it a little easier because now I'm like, okay, I can definitely get some energy here, get a Alolan Raichu in a position to be successful later, and like I said,
which one was easier, against Tropius or against Alolan Raichu?
Oh, no, the Jumpluff is easier
against
for
the Jumpluff.
Raichu.
Yeah, Jumpluff against. Yeah, because you felt you that. Okay, great. Because that's the question I wanted to have. Because going against your team, actually, as we did the meta core, I know you guys like. I knew her team. I'm actually probably gonna be the dick that is running Razor Leaf Double Charm, because if you really think about it, like all of that fast move damage was the key win in Game 1. Yeah. That Razor Leaf was such huge key win. Even against the Swalot, it put on good key fast pressure damage. And that's a tanky Pokemon. So I felt like it has a lot of great play. I know we didn't build a team with Charm. I feel like Charm, again, a fast move hitter is going to be needed. Whether you want to go with the Charm whole lineup or you want to just have one Charm or one Razor Leafer, absolutely get one of those in here because those are going to be two valuable fast move sets in this meta.
I mean, that is why I proposed Whimsicott in my core piece, as a wise philosopher once said, "Por qué no los dos?"
I No?
Confusion as well. Don't forget. Don't
yeah.
leave out Confusion with Hypno. Additionally, if you want to have fast move pressure, Hypno an option.
Hypno
with
is an option.
either Thunder Punch, Ice Punch. You got
Fire
some
Punch.
variables there.
Shadow Ball, Focus Blast. If you want to have some real fun there. Have you ever seen a Hypno Focus Blast something and make it go through? It's pretty amazing.
For those Guzzlord that show up.
Yep.
If you
Focus
don't have
Blast,
charm.
Focus Blast, Zwilus.
Jesus. No, this meta was great. Do you want to build your Jump Bluff, AJ? You don't have to.
I do have plans for that Stardust.
Okay.
So that's why I was a little like,
Take your plans for your Stardust and get out of here. We appreciate
fine.
that. It's no. I don't mind it. It's fine. You guys are right. I did know a little better. But as I was saying, that is how I'm going to play this meta, and I think the meta should be played, is with fast move damage. Just like I said earlier, there was either Polka Dot Cup or Ionic Cup, where Dragon Tail was such the dominant. It wasn't the Pokemon itself. It was having Dragon Tail, being able to chunk down. No, it's Tyrunt. It's Tyrunt's Dragon Tail in this most recent one. That is what I loved a lot about in Arcana. Yeah, that fast move pressure. So that's what I'm still hyped up on. I might put Ludicolo out there. Like, I might run it with Leaf Blade and Ice Beam with Razor Leaf. Right? It'd just be so gross.
It thankfully it doesn't have Leaf Blade.
Oh, it doesn't?
It has Energy Ball.
Energy Ball.
Leaf Storm?
Leaf Storm.
Yeah,
sorry, Leaf Storm. I meant new. I'm trying to nuke because it's obviously not gonna get a fast move fast enough. Just nuke and go. But yeah, those are my two that was the one other Razor Leaf I was thinking at. But Tropius being a Razor Leaf might have more value. Or you know what? Actually, I forgot the Forgis as well that DPhiE you mentioned there.
Yeah, and like I said, when we were playing like that, especially against that double ghost lineup, like I really wish I had Swellow right now.
Yeah.
Because that's why, Noctowl and Pidgeot are banned. Just they're so good against the meta. But that normal typing is really good against that double ghost line that you brought. So like you're not seeing the barrel come in here. I'm sorry. And then you like Oranguru and Girafarig are like the other normal type options other than Swellow or Rufflet, which we saw on the PvPoke rankings. I got it.
XL.
I mean, I got a decent Rufflet when I was traveling back from Hartford. So I mean, I could do that. I don't have
You'll
the
power
Excel
this up, but you won't power up the Jump Bluff?
No.
You're too funny, AJ.
Kidding.
I love you,
kidding.
girl.
XL Farfetch'd is currently ranked higher than Oranguru and Girafarig. XL Farfetch'd would have to be level 50, a perfect. It gets to CP 1397. Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade, and Aerial Ace.
Also, that's my Hundo Rufflet there. It hits 1500 on the dot and only needs 10 XL. Anna's Rock Tomb. That's fun.
That is fun. That is probably why it does so well, because it has an anti-flyer move.
Yeah, and a debuff move as well, which, as we've seen, that's the beauty thing about having Icy Wind on Driftblim, on Seaking is, again, you said it's a fast move meta. Icy Wind debuffs, Rock Tomb debuffs, they're going to help mitigate that fast move damage, try and maybe give you that extra fast move you need to get that second charge move in there. So, yeah. Look for your debuffers.
Looking for those debuffers. Well, ladies, thank you so much in helping me and the audience understand some core picks of this Innocence Cup and then get some lovely team building and battling in there so we can have a good understanding, because the last month of Silph is like a week away. Oh, God.
I know, buddy.
Yeah, I'm real dramatic of this. I'm surprised I haven't cried yet. It's been real heartbreaking. I love the Silph meta. I love these metas. I'd like your two ladies, real quickly before we wrap out, your quick thought on this being the last Silph meta.
Like, thoughts about this meta, or just thoughts about like
thoughts about this meta and it being the last Silph meta for Silph?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I love this meta as
Yeah.
much as some of the other ones that I have loved.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna let some people do some degen crap like Razor Leaf Double Charm. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I can speak very positively about the Silph Arena though. I think that's something I could end a little bit more eloquently on, rather than just be like, yeah, this is.
All right, well,
There's gonna be
AJ,
some nasty Razor Leaf Double Charm.
yeah, we'll get that in just a second. AJ, what are your thoughts about this being the last Silph meta?
I mean, I said it at the start. They're going out with a bang and said, "Bleep it, it's Charm Cup."
Yeah.
But yeah, as someone who did come to PvP late, I didn't do a lot of live stuff before the pandemic. My first ever tournament was Labyrinth, and it was just an Alfindial server. And I had to look for my team because I'm like, I'm going to use 12 different types. So my first ever team on Silph was pre-Frenzy Plant Chestnut, Driftblim, so I guess that's poetic, Driftblim's back here, Alolan Graveler, Whiscash, Skuntank, and of course my darling, Alolan Ninetales. But from that start, like as I got more and more into Silph, it grew my desire to like learn this game, get better at this game, and like, you know, I got into the Girls of PvP server. I got into some big tournaments like that Prismatic Cup I had in the Brussels server, where I'm taking on players like Arsenio, like
top tier players. You're playing top tier players, right?
Yeah, like you know, for a girl who was in her second month of Silph,
Yeah.
like
That's
that's
good.
so huge. Like being in there, finishing on the same level of a Stone Collection, a Sandudu in my first go, like, you know, it stoked the fire and kept me going. And I'm not as good a battler as I am now, which, I mean, if you go by regional records, we'll ignore that. But I'm not as good a battler as I am without Silph, and I don't have the variety that I have on stream without Silph. So on one hand, I am going to miss it. On the other hand, I'm very excited to see so many people in the community come together to hopefully make sure that we have something like Silph in the future. It's the end of Silph, but it's not the end of competitive PvP. And I'm going to be really excited to see what comes of Project Zygarde. I'm really excited to be a part of that, and hopefully we can, you know, come out and give people an experience that may even surpass Silph in the future.
Yeah, I completely echo all of those things. Again, like, Silph is how a lot of our best battlers, how they got their start in Pokemon Go PvP. Because Go Battle League hasn't been around forever. You know, when PvP dropped, Silph Arena, that was it. Show 6, pick 3. That was how you did PvP for a very long time. And that's what lit my fire as well, AJ, to become better at this game, to learn the game back when we didn't even know like how IVs worked. You didn't have this nice little chart that showed low attack and high of the other two. You had to like decipher the words that your team leader said.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
It was so bad. And it was, but we came together as a community around the Silph Arena, and we figured it out. And yeah, I would not be where I am today, doing the things that I am today without the Silph Arena. I don't think I would have stayed invested in Pokemon Go without that PvP component. Again, though, I also echo that what is coming with Project Zygarde, I'm excited to take. Like I said earlier, it's not the closing of the book. It's just a new chapter. We're transitioning into something new, and I'm really excited to be part of building whatever that new is going to look like.
Absolutely, ladies. And it has, the Silph is greatly said by both of you. It's been a great cornerstone for a lot of battlers from the get-go, and especially the new battlers who didn't even know what Silph was when they finally saw GBL and got into it. So like you, AJ, for joining us. It's been a wonderful tool to like open up and like really deep dive and like find different Pokemon and use different stuff, and learn the skills of actually battling and understanding like the debuffs and the stuff like that. Yeah, we've gone through hell and back with it, but it being the grassroots and it going away, affects me a lot because I love this meta. It's like the in person, like my season 1 in person was unreal, unmatched to like anything else I've done, and it's just been so awesome to have it come back. I was really sad to see it go away, but it's been such a strong tool to keep communities together, and I'm very grateful they survived through the pandemic, because if they did not survive through the pandemic, not a lot of us would be here. The game would have been in so much more disarray. It wouldn't be as strong, and that's why we have this Zygarde group that we're all three a part of, working together to bring you, the battlers, a great, like, amazing community still, and you are going to be safe, and you're not going to be left out in the dark with just one GBL. We're there for you. Everybody who's organized and been in this, they're all passionate. All of them have done their own style of a league, of hosting their own styles of tournaments, are all tournament leaders, organizer leaders, community leaders. So it is a wonderful, wonderful project. You should not be that afraid of Zygarde. You should be very welcoming for it. It is not an inclusive thing. It's going to be it's not an exclusive thing. It's a very inclusive thing. It's going to bring back old metas. We're hoping to get back in persons as well. It's going to be team focused. It's going to be there for battlers so that you don't feel like you don't have a place to battle anymore. Like, because that's what Silph was for us. That was our safe place to battle. You can go, you can jump in a tournament, you know where to go. You can go to your local, you can do that. Zygarde will be able to provide that field where you, the battler, know that there's a battling place for you, a battling community for you. So never fret. We are here for you. Zygarde's going to be great. Again, a huge thank you to Silph and everybody that had been a part of it for the 5 years. These amazing metas, monthly metas, giving it to us, regionals, worlds, factions, all of that stuff. Absolutely just heartbreaking to see it go, but thank you for building up such a strong heart with it, because if you didn't do such a great job at building it up, we wouldn't be so heartbroken over it. So again, I have to just say thank you to Silph organization. Ladies, we are wrapping up. DPhiE, let's kick it off with you. Where can people come and find you to see all your amazing, wonderful shoutcasting talent and skills?
Well, you can find me pretty much anywhere at DPhiE, DPhiE250. You can find me on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok sometimes. Just a variety of different things. And I would say if you head over to my Twitch channel, you can see that I'm currently doing a fundraiser for St. Jude as part of St. Jude Play Live. We've raised a ton of money going towards a really, really good cause, and that has been my focus this whole month of May, which is charity. I ate some Jelly Belly Bean Boozleds on stream to raise money, and it was unpleasant because I had to eat a jelly bean that tasted like dead fish. Not like all fish are dead, but it was like rotty fish, like rotten kind of fish. So that was unpleasant. So,
like your partner fish? You had to eat a rotten partner fish?
A dead fish.
Oh God.
A dead rotten fish. No, it's these little jelly beans. I don't know if anybody's familiar, but it's either like, oh, this could be strawberry banana smoothie, or it could be rotten fish, or it could be, what was the one I had? Pomegranate or Old Bandage was another one.
Old Bandage? Ugh.
Not even a fresh new one.
I want none of this.
Yeah.
So these are the things we do to raise money for fundraising for the kids. St. Jude Play Live is a huge the whole gaming community across all platforms, across all games, to put money and mystery flavors. It's not really mystery because I know like the light blue ones, there's only 2 choices. It's either berry blue or toothpaste. Like you only have 2 options. Better than the Carolina Reaper one, agreed. So again, St. Jude Play Live, that's the main thing I want to plug. So even if it's not in my stream, if you have a different streamer who's doing St. Jude Play Live stuff, go support that, because researching children's cancer is important.
Yes, it is. Miss AJ, where can we find you?
You could just do what I did and eat 2 dry packets of oatmeal without any milk for charity.
But you are the oatmeal queen, not me.
That seems easier. But yeah, you can also find me over on Twitch at FinalBossAJ. I'll be there in like 10 minutes doing some little cup sets because I'm back, and it will be my first stream officially as a part of Asylum Gaming, the newest startup in the Pokemon Go sphere. It's myself, Battle Bill, and Pogo Doms, who are the initial crew members of that team. So we're looking forward to building that up, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and finally give some voice to the community, especially the girls at PvP community that's been so good to me, and apparently fears me in tournaments. But I lost in New Hampshire, so it's fine. But yeah, I'll be over there at probably 10 my time. So like I said, 10 minutes. So you can find me there at FinalBossAJ, or you can find me on Twitter at @A_J_Andrews. The underscores are there because Twitter is still dumb, but where else am I going to post my stupid pics traveling from Massachusetts where I just stick Lapras and whatever I want?
And that's how you ended it? You had such a great build-up. You're like, I'll put Lapras in everything.
I mean, that was a tweet I did
that was
when
great.
when I got to my parents' house at 4 a.m. That's like, here are the photos I took with Lapras in them.
I love when you take a little travel buddy and you bring it and you put it in all the different situations. It's very cute.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with my new Fuecoco for Fresno.
Aww.
I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah. Well, thank you, DPhiE and AJ, for taking your time out this Tuesday to help us understand the Innocence Cup, as this is going to be the last meta for Season 5 of Silph. So get out there and get your ace ranking, your challenger ranking, your rival ranking. Finish your 40 rounds this wave, because this is the last wave, and then we're going right into Worlds, which will be in July and August as well. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you again, ladies. Always appreciative of having you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel here at YouTube, or like this video so I know that you're enjoying this and we can keep making this for you. There are so many other condensed, restricted, made metas out there. BTWs has stuff. I know that Go Stadium creates metas. There's so many new metas out there, different metas, that it's just because it's not under Silph doesn't mean I can't find them and bring them to you. So Poke Battle Network is here for you for all your battling needs. Thank you all for watching the Poke Battle Network. I'm SosaFlow, and like always, keep on battling.